had that cup of coffee, and I'm going to be going through memory lane here a little bit. Here's a picture of me when I was young, and my little poodle Josette that I had growing up, and a nice picture of my mom and grandmother. And as we get into this today, I wanted to let you all know that I did hear from my brother, my half brother. If you've been following me, you know that I just learned a couple of months ago that I had a half sibling, possibly, and confirmed that about 3 weeks ago through DNA testing. And I was getting a little anxious, thinking that maybe my half brother didn't want to know me. And I had these funny memories that were really not quite sure what those are about, but they weren't my half brother. At least not this one, unless there's someone else out there. Anyway, I had eye surgery on a lower lid. I got rid of that lump through a biopsy, and it isn't quite healed yet. So I have a lot of favorite scenes, like you've been seeing some of the cottage and things that my dad used. And we have some pictures of pets and so on. Anyway, I thought as I talked about this news about getting to know my half brother a little bit through a phone call, and from now I'm going to just call him my brother because I don't like that half term, but we share a father in common biologically. Anyway, I learned a lot about him, and I told him a little bit about me, and he's learned a lot about me through these videos on YouTube, which is kind of funny. So he kind of knows what kind of a crazy gal I am. We're hoping to maybe travel to the state he lives in and maybe meet him later this year. So I'm hoping to do that. Anyway, it's turning out a lot better than I expected. He was wanting to know who his father was. He didn't know who his father was, and well, he knows now. And I'm gathering together some pictures for him of my dad. So there's a possibility that he might have met him because the family that raised him has a connection to my father's side of the family. So he may have met my father and not known that that's who it was. And we're not sure if my father knew about him or not. We're not really sure of the kind of relationship that my father had with his mom, but it doesn't appear to be his ex-wife's son at all, and so it was really a surprise in that way. So anyway, I have a lot of wonderful pictures that you're seeing scale by. My cat Maxie, who just passed away a few weeks ago. You see some pictures of me when I was teaching a few years ago, and my dog Mazda, who is my constant companion, and just wonderful family pictures and moments that we've had. So I hope that you'll be enjoying this video and this little cascade of pictures. So I don't know much more that I can tell you really about my half brother or my brother because that kind of thing is still personal, and I just wanted you to know that everything was real positive, and we're hopefully going to be remaining in touch and getting to know each other a little bit better. And so all of that is kind of good. And it's kind of been kind of funny because we both have been kind of investigating each other. His daughter's been helping him a lot and in that search, and so it's kind of cool. It turned out well for us, but that waiting is really difficult, and you got to see that part of it. And like I said in my last video, it is a Pandora's box that gets opened with these things, and things come out that you're just not really sure about. And in the case of my brother and myself, because people have passed away, it's probably going to be very difficult for us to really learn the whole story. So the takeaway from this is, like I said before, our actions always have consequences, and we do need to be responsible with our lives, no matter what age we are. We don't realize, and we need to pass that on to our children, that their actions have consequences, and what they do today affects, their children in the future, and they want to make good decisions, and it would have been nice to have known my brother. We're very close in age, and for me that was kind of sad because I didn't have brothers and sisters growing up. He did have was raised in a large family, and so he had that advantage, or maybe disadvantage to him. I don't know. Everybody has a different perspective, and we'll be learning all that. But basically, it seems like he's had a good life, and I have too. But, it's kind of too bad. I feel a little bit like we missed something too. So, you're seeing lots of good times here that I've had in the last few years, and I'm looking forward to a few more good times ahead, I'm hoping. And I do have an unboxing that I'm hoping to do in maybe even this afternoon. I might let the camera go on my face for a little bit, and then you can see how things are going. It isn't that bad, but I just don't want you to have to look at some people get kind of creeped out by scabbing stuff, and it is right under my eye. On that front, I did learn that I'm going to have some more work done. The biopsy showed that they didn't get everything. It is a basal cell carcinoma, which is not a real life-threatening cancer, but I think it's going to be a bit of a nuisance to get rid of, and I'm a little nervous that they have to go any deeper because there'll be a nice little scar under my eye, and maybe, I don't know, maybe not. We'll see, but at least I don't have that lump there anymore. I did have a secondary infection, so I'm getting over that. I had to take some eye drops, but I have a feeling it's not all gone. It's supposed to be. So it's kind of crazy, and you're getting to see some of my hairdo changes in the last few years. I went strawberry blonde and red and kind of a violet. Even had a purple streak for a while, and then I went back to my gray hair. So I had a lot of fun with it. I'm not saying I never will dye it again. Maybe I'll go blue next time. We'll see. And you're getting to see our new younger cats, my daughter's cats. There's Dimitri, and I think you saw Esphir and my Yuki in one of these. We're going to be seeing some more pictures of my mother and me. You saw my mother years ago with her mother, my grandmother at the beginning of this, and me as a little child. And this is a cool picture that I have coming up of Yuki and some books that I had planned on reading last winter. I don't know that I got to them. And my shorter hair before I started growing it out again, and before the cats got me where I ended up with a bald spot. And then, of course, my favorite place in Saint Germain and some of the area there. So anyway, and we're probably going to be selling this cottage soon because of some things that have come up, and well, I just kind of want to pay off some bills and give us a chance to probably have a fresh start and be closer to our children when we both are retired and decide to go somewhere else. But this has been a wonderful place for us, and we've enjoyed it. And it is pretty, and I love the air up there. Maybe we'll change our mind. We're thinking about it anyway. And you're to see some jewelry that I've been making and some 20s parties. Sometimes we go to themed parties, usually connected to some jazz music. My husband and I like to listen to jazz. And so we do that sometimes. Oh, excuse me. It's early morning, but I didn't sleep last night. I'm still on a goofy schedule. And you're seeing like changes of season. You'll see our beautiful tree in some of these pictures. And here it's a fall a couple of years ago, and there were really a lot of reds. This past fall there were a lot of yellows. It's different how each fall is a little different. So lots of different things in this as it's scrolling by. And some jewelry that I made in the past, and I have something that I made, an ornament that I made a couple of years ago now it'll be, because I didn't make them this year. So by the time we get to next Christmas it'll be a couple of years, but I did have ornaments planned. I didn't get to them this past year. Hopefully I'll be able to get organized and do that sometime this year, but I don't know. Right now it's not looking like it. My husband said, get something done today. And I don't think he meant this video. So, like I said, I'm going to be getting a photo album of pictures of my father, mainly for my brother. So he'll have those and know what his father looked like. I think that's kind of going to be important to him. He wanted to get to know who his dad was and so on, and I think that's really cool. I'm glad he found me. That makes me very happy. So we're not quite sure how that all came about exactly, but he was born before my mother came and father met each other in Wisconsin, so it was a previous relationship. But yeah, I don't know that my parents knew anything about him. It's looking like they probably didn't. I don't know. I really don't know. I have those strange memories, and I don't know what that was about, and I have more questions, I think, than answers, but at the same time, it's been really a much better week. I think I feel a lot better knowing he's okay, knowing a little bit more about the circumstances. Well, I don't necessarily know about the circumstances, but I do know the circumstances he grew up in, and that helps me a little bit. And it just was nice to talk to someone that's also kind of going through this as well. So, and we have lots more to talk about. He has, like I say, there are, some connections that he had to our family, and, so it's, we're looking into trying to figure this puzzle out together, and that's kind of nice too. It's not just me alone anymore, and with this, so I'm real happy about this. So we're looking at some things from last spring, and here's my favorite tree. I'm looking forward to that, and my tulips blooming in a few weeks, I hope, because right now we've got a whole bunch of snow, and I was wondering if it was an ice age coming, because it's been snowing so hard everywhere. I think Tucson had some snow, and they never get snow that I know of, or very rarely, and not as much as I saw in some pictures. That kind of freaked me out a little bit. So there's Essie and Yuki, and this is my little bistro set that I got last year. I enjoyed the evenings and sitting out and watching, and there's my bleeding heart plant. It's like I got to quickly get out there and take a look at those things. Oh, this is a funny one. I found Coca-Cola that had my name on it last year, so I took a picture of it. And of course, we have some beads that I got from Russia that I sent for, and these are just some different specimens that I got and some subscription boxes last year. I just plugged a lot of things in. So this is kind of like a chat and an update, and I have a Blueberry Cove bead box. Here are some old beads from Blueberry Cove, but I have a new one. Well, pour yourself a second cup of coffee if you need one. Or maybe you're winding down from that cup of coffee that you've been drinking as you watch these pictures and kind of hopefully enjoyed me going on and on a little bit. So lots of bead projects I want to get to. So I'm hoping that I get some my project for my brother done, and then get some things put away and do a little. I have a little business stuff that I have to clear up too and check on too today, so I have to make sure I do that. So, and then this next thing is my little box that is reminding me that next week I'm going to have to start making sure I have my seeds and start my seedlings for planting in the spring. I'm going to try to get a little bit more going this year than I did last year because I just didn't start early enough. And so there's a picture from last fall when we were on our trip, and my blueberry bubble tea. Ooh, that was good. So, and it makes me think of my son and Renton and his wife, and I'm hoping they're having a good day. Missing him, and just hope things are going well for him. Oh my goodness, that must have been October 6th that I took that picture of Yuki. So, yeah, I love this picture. It looks like it's the Grand Canyon, but it really is just a piece of petrified wood. Looks like I'm looking at a canyon, I think. I love the perspective of that. And of course, we're coming to my favorite place on our trip, Wall Drug. I don't know, it was such a silly place, but I enjoyed the food there and just kind of the rest stop idea. And there I am with that bump on my eye. And last December, we did an overnight with Mazda. So when Aaron graduated, and there's my birthday cake for my 60th this year. So we're coming to an end here. Some of my more recent jewelry projects, some of these ended up as gifts for people, and some of them are still in my stash of things to use for gifts or whatnot. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. I'm doing a little yawning there. You're probably getting a little tired now too. Maybe you're going to need a nap after that coffee or pour another cup because, well, I've just made you get sleepy here. So I enjoyed making these pieces. The more I look at them, the more I kind of like them. So I guess they're not too bad. If you can kind of look at things and think they're okay, I guess, after a few weeks, that's good. So I guess, when it comes to art, I think first thing you have to do is just make sure it pleases you, because there are going to I have friends that are artists, I mean real artists, not just dabblers like me, and they sometimes get critiqued, and it really is, they take it to heart, and I keep telling them, do you like it? If you like it, well, that's the important thing. Hopefully others do. So if you like this video, don't forget to hit that like button and do subscribe to my channel.